Hey bunnies, welcome back to another video.
Now let's just try. Let's talk about codes and ambition. Roll up and then we get high. You got your hands on my thighs. Put my panties to the side, put your finger inside. Play with it, boy, while we vibe. Show me what to be expecting when we get inside. I'ma treat your body like a car. Put my body and dry ride that dick to some more. Hop on your face, I'ma put it in park. For being neutral, give me that.
So today's video is going to be a story time, and this is the time that I got scammed by a Lyft driver. So we just gonna jump right in this. So this was a minute ago. I was at a little appointment or whatever. Y'all don't even need to know the details. Me and spent the night. And so I was leaving. Like, this was the next day. I was leaving. I put, the address into my Lyft app and where I was going back to my house. I put that in. They said he was on his way. Was waiting around, and basically it said that the guy was outside, and then I had 5 minutes to come outside. And so, I say my goodbye and I go outside, and to my surprise, the Lyft driver not there. Like, he was nowhere to be found. He was gone, absent, deleted. So once I noticed that he wasn't outside, I started walking around, maybe seeing like, okay, maybe he's at this side street, maybe he's a few houses down. I'm looking for the car and I don't see it. So my first instinct was to contact the Lyft driver. So I call him and I'm waiting on it. It's ringing. He answers and he was like, "Hello." He sounded like Italian, honestly. He had a thick accent. So I was okay, maybe he just doesn't, know the area well enough, or maybe he just doesn't know. So that's what I thought. So we're on the phone, we're talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm outside." And I'm like, "Well, I don't see you." I'm like, "I'm standing right here." I'm like, "Do you see me? I have on a green and red windbreaker. My hair is orange. Like, I'm standing right here. I have on red boots." He was like, "No, I did not see you." He's like, "I'm at the right address." He says the address back to me, and I'm like, "No, that's the wrong address." I'm like, you're on the wrong street. Like, you need to come towards me." I'm like, I repeated the address to him. I told him to look back in the app for the address. I'm like, because you're somewhere totally different, and I don't know where you are, but you're not where I'm at. So in the app, you can see when the Lyft driver is moving. You can see their actions and their movements through the app. So I see that he proceeds to drive, and I just checked his location from where my location was, because I would be a blue dot on the screen and he would be the car. So I zoomed out of the screen and to see where my blue dot was compared to where his car was. And girl, he was on the other side of the city that I was in, and I'm like, where? Like, I don't understand what's going on. So I'm calling him, he doesn't answer, and so I can see that he's just sitting there on the screen. So I'm like, he's not even moving, he's not even looking for me. So mind you, he already started the time clock like for 5 minutes to come out. So at this point, it gets to like 3 minutes, and it gets to like 2 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, like, this thing is gonna take my money, and I'm not even nowhere near in the vicinity. Like, he's gonna drive off and I'm gonna have to get a new one. So he starts yelling and raising his voice. "I'm at the location where it tells me to go. You're not here. I'm gonna leave." I'm just like, okay, calm down, chill. I'm like, dude, like, you're just nowhere near me. I'm like, you need to come back the other way. I'm like, you're going in a totally different direction. So he starts yelling and yelling, and so I just hang up. I'm like, cause no, you're not finna sit here and talk to me like that. Like, I refuse to let you sit here and talk to me like that. Like, stop being disrespectful, sir. So the time clock, it's still at 2. Like, I'm checking that time clock like faithfully, because I'm like, okay, I don't want the time to run out, as if I'm not, there, but I'm out here waiting for him. Like, I'm out here, I've been on time. So the time clock's running out. It's at 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes to be outside at the car before, I'd have to get another one. So he calls me and he's like, "Can you cancel the ride? Can you cancel the ride?" And I'm thinking, like, hold up. Me cancel the ride? If anybody who uses Lyft or Uber knows that if the driver drives more than if the driver drives 5 minutes or more and you try to cancel the ride, they automatically get $5. They legit get $5 whether if you cancel that ride. I'm like, no, I'm not canceling the ride because I already knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to get that $5 and I'm not stupid. You're not finna play me. You ain't even nowhere near me. Like, you mad because you over there, but you at the wrong place. It's not my fault you went to the wrong place. Like, you know what address you're supposed to go to. Like, it's not my fault. So I was like, no, I'm like, I don't know how to cancel it. So I'm like, can't you cancel it on your end? He was like, no, I don't know how. I don't see it. I don't see a button or anything for that on the screen. Where would that be at on the screen? I'm like, I don't have your side of the app. I'm like, my side of the app is totally different from your side of the app. I'm like, I don't know what your side of the app looks like. Like, I never drove Lyft before. I'm like, but I know for sure that you can cancel a ride. He was like, well, I don't know where it's at. I don't know how to do that. And then I'm like, well, you need to cancel it or something. I'm like, we need to contact Lyft, like something. We need to contact somebody to cancel this ride because you trying to play me out of my $5 in a ride. So then, boom, I look back at the app and the time has run out. So at this point, it's looking as if I'm in the car and I'm in the ride and he's taking me to my destination. So I'm like, oh hell no, like what's going on? So I'm in the app, I'm looking at it and he starts moving. And so he's following the direction which the app was telling him to take me home. So this motherfucker is legit taking this ride as if I am in the fucking car. Mind you, I'm standing on the street. Okay, mind you, I was standing there, I was scared. It wasn't nighttime, it was daytime, but the part of town that I was in is where like rich Caucasian people live. And the one lady, she was jogging and running and she was staring at me because I was standing in front of someone's house. And then the person's house that I was sitting in front of, they came outside and I'm just like, oh my God. So I just started walking down the street because I didn't want them to think like I'm trying to do anything. But you're standing in front of someone's house, you're gonna call the police. Like, they're racist in that area also. So I was trying not to make it look like I was just standing there. So I just start walking down the street. I didn't want to stand in front of somebody's house looking suspicious. I'm already black in a white neighborhood. Girl, they call the police with the quickness, and the police will show up with the quickness if you're black. So as I'm walking down the street, I'm still following the fact that he's literally taking the direction of where my house is. The direction of that it tells him to go, it's like a path. Like, it lights up on the screen a different color than the other streets would be because it's basically telling you the route to go. So he was making every turn, the right ones. He was going the exact right fucking way. So I stopped walking and I called him. So when I was on the phone and I asked him, like, where are you going? Like, why are you still taking the ride and I'm not in the car? He was like, I'm not taking the ride. He's like, I'm going to where I need to go. And I'm like, this motherfucker got time today. He got time today, okay? He was not playing no games. Like, he was getting smart. He was clapping back. And I'm like, look, why don't you pull up with that same energy? Because I'm telling you, I'm going to put these hands on you and you're not going to say nothing. Like, you're going to want to call the police on me. You're basically illegally taking my money and I'm not even in the car with you. Like, what are you doing? Like, just cancel it. Like, I'm not in the car. You trying to finesse me out my money. That's what we're not going to do. So he was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. He was like, you gave me the wrong address. I don't know what the hell to tell you. And I told him, like, the address is da-da-da-da. I'm like, it's exactly what it says in the app. I screenshot it in the app for evidence because I was going to email Lyft. When I got to where I was going to email Lyft about this whole situation. So I immediately screenshotted my location and where I was. And the time he was in the car and where he was going to my apartment, I screenshotted that, and I also took a picture of my surroundings at that time with the time on there because I wanted them to see like look, he's going to my apartment and I'm not even in the car. outside waiting for this guy at the first location he was supposed to pick me up at. So I made sure I had all the evidence because they were going to run me my money either way. So basically, he was on the phone. He told me, I don't know what to tell you. And then he hung up on me. That's exactly what this fucker did. He hung up right in my face. And I'm like, oh my fucking goodness. Like, it's about to go down. Like, I'm ready to fight. Like, we got to fight. Like, this is it. Like, there's no talking, no nothing. Like, I'm just ready to post up. So he hangs up on me, and I continue to walk because, again, I don't want to look suspicious. He walk in, I'm just thinking, like, this morning is off to a bad start. I'm like, what could go wrong next? Well, to my fucking surprise, here come two big ass dogs with no fucking leash on, coming up right after me. And I'm like, yo, I skated on them dogs like Usain Bolt. I was like, I was going, like, I'm telling you, if anybody see me running, they was like, damn, that fat bitch can really run. And it was this big ass fucking pine tree at the corner of the street. It was like a main street, and then the street that I was coming off of, it was this big ass fucking pine tree. It looks like a huge ass Christmas tree. I just ran. I ran behind the tree, and I could see the dogs. They were coming still, and then I see a white guy, and he was like, hey, get over here. And I guess he was the owner of the dogs, and luckily they stopped running after me and they went back to him. And I'm just like, oh my god, I almost died. Oh my goodness. So I had my mace ready because I was not playing no games with them dogs. Like, them dogs were gonna get kicked in their shit and they were gonna get maced. Like, I don't play no fucking games at all. So at that point, my adrenaline is up, my heart pumping, my fat ass trying to breathe behind a tree, like, yeah, like, it was just all fucking bad. Like, I did not think that morning was gonna turn out like that. I thought I was just gonna get in the Lyft, go home, and everything be fine. Like, no. God had other plans. He said, you thought this was just gonna be a quick trip? You tripping. He was like, you bugging, girl. We got a few more hurdles for you to get over before you get home. Is that okay with you? So at this point, I'm standing at this corner behind this big ass pine tree, and I'm on this main street. I'm still looking at the app, and this motherfucker is literally still taking the ride. And he went to my apartment that I lived in. He basically tried to complete the ride as if I was in it, and I was just so mad. Like, I was mad as hell. And so I guess when he pressed the button that says drop off Asia, because usually what it says, drop off Asia, like, I guess he thought he was gonna get some coins. As soon as he hit that button, my bank account, it sent me a notification. Like, a notification came down on my screen, and it says refunded. It refunded me the amount of that ride. I don't know how or why, like, it refunded me that money. So once I seen that it had refunded me, I was like relieved, and I was just so happy that I got my money back and he didn't get not a dime from me for that ride, because he knew he was very fraudulent. And I hope he doesn't try that shit with somebody else, because that was really uncalled for and ridiculous. In all, I wasn't totally scammed, but girl, he really tried to get over, and I feel like we have to watch out for stuff like that. I still emailed Lyft, and I told them that they need to go in and put some work in on that app. So that's the end of my story, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little short story. But if you'd like to see more, click the like button and go down below and, you know, comment some stuff, you know, leave some bunny emojis, okay?
I'ma treat your body like a clap on my body and dry ride that dick to some more. Hop on your face, I'ma put it in park. For being neutral, give me that.